Hi and welcome to Fabric Bias. It is July 2025 and I am working on fixing a shirt for my son to wear. He just had surgery on his nose and he wants to wear a t-shirt, but he doesn't want to pull it over his head. So I'm trying to adjust this one. I've taken one of his old t-shirts, I cut it open dead center in front here, and I took two pieces of fabric. I don't have any green, so I took these two strips of fabric that are the length of that cut. I put them right sides together, so the ends on each end, and then turned them right side out and then pressed them. Of course, I also have shape flex in them because I don't want them stretching here. And I'm going to use them on each of the cut side. I've also put shape flex because I don't want, that piece will not stick, because I don't want this knit stretching on me when I sew. And so putting the shape flex on is going to keep it from stretching because shape flex doesn't stretch. And I'm going to sew now with raw edges together, because this is now both right sides. On the right side of the t-shirt and here I'm going to sew this strip on each side, so I've done the same thing with two, down, attach it, and then I'm going to roll it over and press it and then sew it on, and then I'll be able to, there's room here for him, so I'll be able to put buttonholes and buttons on here. That's the theory. All right, so I've done this once before. It was a really long time ago, so let's see if it works again, because I don't actually remember what I did. All right, I'll be back in a flash. Okay, the buttons are not on or anything. I still have, I actually did switch the thread in my machine because I thought white would not look good. I've got the, I don't know what to call this. Placket comes to mind in my head, but I don't know if that's right. This was pretty easy to put in, so once I had it sewn on, I used a 1/4 inch seam, and when I rolled it over, I used that seam as a guide because I wanted this not to show, so I used that as a guide, so I was able to get this by feel, because the edge of the seam is right there, and just press that in place, and then I just stitched down the one side, and then I stitched down the other side on this one. This one I haven't finished yet. I went a little crookedy right here. I'm not going to change it because I'm afraid I'll rip the fabric, but I am going to I did the stitching down this side, and now I just need to do the stitching down this side. In the meantime, I went ahead and found some buttons. I don't have this color green. This is the closest I had that I thought would look nice. And I've marked, I know I want one at the very top up here and one at the very bottom. I divided that in half, the distance in half, put a mark here, and then I divided that distance in half between these and put marks here. Sorry about that. And I marked all the way across, so I'm not going to put I'm going to put my buttons in this way. I have to actually go see which side I want to put the buttons on still. But right now I'm just going to stitch this to this side, and then I'm going to go see what I did the last time. If I put the buttons on this side, I want to be consistent with whether the buttons should be on this side or this side. And then I think the buttonholes are going to go this direction. I don't know. I have to figure that out too. But for right now, I'm just going to stitch this up right here and finish the other line right there. So that's what it looks like so far. So, all right, back in a flash. Okay, finished the buttonholes, and not too bad, I don't think, for the first time on this machine. Here, I actually did the bottom one first because in case I screwed up, it would be at the very bottom, and I did actually screw up because I forgot the machine puts the buttonholes in backwards. Even though I did do a test. I did do a test one to check it out. So this one I actually have cut all the way open just to see if the button would fit through, and I did everything right, so I did do okay. When I find buttonholes to be nerve-wracking because you've done everything and now you're at the very last stage and you could really screw it up. I prefer zippers because they go on earlier usually, but what I've done with each of the holes is after I did the holes, I made a small slit with my seam ripper, and then I'll go back with my snipper and actually cut it to the end. There is the method where you can put the pin in place, so you don't, I've done it where you've done the buttonhole and you keep slicing and you slice all the way through and then beyond. So you can put a pin here to stop your seam ripper from going through, but I prefer just to put a little bitty slit, little hole in with my seam ripper, and then I'll go back through with the snippers and I'll cut with the snippers. Nice, I have a nice pair of snippers. So I've got those in place. I'm going to match up my shirt again one more time to make sure that the buttons are going the right way. I did decide to go with the buttonholes this way because even though I have this cotton back here that's keeping it from being stretchy, It is a stretch fabric, so I thought if I went this way, it would pull too much. So I wanted to go this way because then it's hitting the edge here and not pulling. I don't know if that makes sense, and I don't know that it really matters because again, I do have this nice big non-stretch fabric back here lining it. So, all right, I'm gonna line it up, get the buttons on, and I'm gonna be done. All right, back in a flash. And it's done. The buttons work, the buttonholes are nice, and they match up on it. And I think I'm gonna call it my Get Well shirt. So if you like it, I hope that whenever you're at, you're having a great time, and thanks for watching.